Unless you've been living under a rock and you watch the evening news, you've been hearing a lot about artificial intelligence, that it's a bubble, that it's going to take over the world, that it's going to create a post-scarcity economy. Well, between the hyperbole, there's some truth and a little bit of all of that. So I'm 70 years old, and while I'm not worried about transformers, I just want to write my HOA a polite but snarky letter. So, what is it really good at? What does it mean? When you try and learn about it and you see some 20-year-old tech bro who's been raised on digital cookies and thinks a full stack is a website and not breakfast on a Sunday morning, well, let's figure out what it's really good at and what we can use it for. I'm Jag, and this is an old geezer's guide to AI.
Howdy, folks. You're tuned in to a geezer's guide to, well, just about everything worth knowing. Sit back, spin a record, and let's roll the film.
So you've all heard of ChatGPT. What does that even mean? Well, PT means generalized pre-trained transformer. Now we're not talking about those Japanese cars that turned into robots that you got for your kids in the 90s. This is a way of transforming patterns into meaningful output. In fact, GPT and all large language models like them are basically really good at recognizing patterns. It's like an intern who's read every book in the library and browsed every single web page there is to. And he knows how to recognize patterns, but doesn't have a lick of common sense. You have to tell him exactly what to do, ask some very specific questions, and get very specific answers. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Let's go ahead and log on to GPT. Let's go ahead and open up a browser. We'll type in chatgpt.com. Don't worry about it. It's free. There's nothing to download, so you don't have to worry about getting malware on your computer. And so we're going to go ahead and type in here. We're going to ask you the question. Let's see, what's something good? Oh, I know, something I would want to use a lot. Write an excuse to get me out of attending a boring dinner party this weekend. Make it sound believable for a 70-year-old. Something like, I lost my teeth. I don't know. There we go. Hit enter. And just like that, we have an answer. Let's read this. This is pretty typical. Let's try something a little more practical. So since I like to brew beer, I like to brew beer. I like to drink beer. Let's do this. Give me a recipe for a good stout beer using only these 4 ingredients: malt, water, yeast, and hops. And just like that, there's a good recipe for it. So you can see how easy it is and actually how helpful. For example, if you wanted to find a recipe, or you wanted to find an article on something, or you wanted information about something, it's an incredibly valuable resource. But here's the catch. It's a very confident liar, and what will happen is if it doesn't actually know the answer, its goal is to keep you happy. So it will do what's called hallucinations and give you answers that really don't make any sense. So it's important that if you have a reference or something that it gives you, that you actually validate it, that you check it out. Because otherwise, if you say, well, I saw it on the internet, we all know where that goes, it can make you look a little bit foolish. So be really careful. Do not give it any of your personal financial information. Do not ask it for medical advice. There are systems that are specifically trained for medical advice and are actually, in many cases, better than physicians in things like diagnosing disease or reading x-rays. But the general purpose LLMs like ChatGPT are not that. So make sure that your queries are things like answering or writing emails, coming up with, say, story ideas or ideas for things to do this weekend, because my wife likes, ABC. She likes quilting, so maybe there's some quilting exhibits or something. Ask us simple questions like that. Yeah. So So there we have a couple of quick examples of how to use ChatGPT or other large language models and use them for some funny and also some practical uses. So next week I'm going to give you an example of how I use this exact same tool to irritate the heck out of email scammers. And if you learned something today, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And yeah, like I said, hit that subscribe button because I'm on a fixed income. We'll see you next week.